We were at a local church for our Down Syndrome Association holiday party that we have every single year. And this is actually the 3rd year, I think, that we've had it there.
I had been at work all day. I came down. I literally sat down to eat.
Grayson and his brother and sister were on the stage playing. The party was wrapping up. As everyone's filing out, I look again, and he's gone.
And so I immediately, since there were plenty of people inside, I decided to go outside.
It becomes very apparent very quickly he's not in the building anymore, but we didn't know where he had gone because there's multiple exits. There
was this young man here running down the road, and I stopped and I called somebody.
And I get a phone call from one of my friends who was also helping look for him. And she basically just said, Santa just called me, and he saw him go into the woods.
When I hung up, he had darted off into the woods, and I couldn't find him.
When I saw Christian, and she said that Santa called and said that he saw him go in the woods, and I was like somewhere around here, and I was like, I was just right here.
We pull up, and Santa, still in his Santa suit, is walking out of the woods, and he's like, I tried to get him, he's like, but I don't know where he walked off to.
So I went all down through the woods and up the hill and everywhere trying to find him.
I walked through woods, through an entire apartment complex, and I was basically just kind of steps behind him, or just a couple of minutes behind him.
I was going out my truck and went down checking driveways.
I see an adult coming towards me, and I ask her, have you seen a little boy? He has a red shirt on. And at this point, I'm crying, because it had been about 20 minutes at this point, and so I'm starting to panic, and so she said she had 2 dogs with her, and she basically just said her dogs aren't friendly, and so she didn't want to grab him.
I thought for a second there he might be running back to his house or something, but I said, no, I don't believe he would be doing that.
I run across another adult, and I ask him, I'm like, hey, have you seen a little boy in a red shirt? And again, I've obviously been crying. My mascara is smeared everywhere. I'm, kind of panicking. And he's like, yeah, I think I did. He went that way. And just kind of points me. And so I'm like this way? And he says, yes. So I take off running again. And so we're running on about 25-ish minutes now.
I had all kind of thoughts running through my head, what's he doing? Where's he going? What's he thinking?
I look up, but I can't see, I can see a white truck, but I can't see who it is. And so I'm like, do you have him? And I don't hear anything. And I'm like, if you don't have him, grab him. I'm just screaming as much as I can. And I finally hear I got him. And I was like, oh gosh. And to this point, I still don't know. I know it's a man, but I still don't know who it is. So I start walking and then realize Santa was the one who actually found him.
I caught him right at River Road. He was coming right up the hill there, right at the River Road. So I got him and called his mama and said, I have him. So that's when he got happy, but it scared me to death when I lost him, because I couldn't imagine something happening to him after I had him right there in my sight and then lost him. But
when I got him from Santa, it's just, he has no fear. He was not, he hadn't been crying. He just didn't really understand the kind of danger that he was just in.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Obviously, you were critical to getting him back into our arms.
I was very overwhelmed with emotions, because you go from being terrified, because it's a very helpless, awful feeling not knowing where your child is, especially when you know that your child is nonverbal and doesn't really understand what it is that he just did, and then also happiness, despair, everything all together. Thank you. And I think I did say thank you that night. We love you, and can't thank you enough. And unless you know a child with special needs, or like you have someone like that in your life, you just don't get it until you've experienced it. And so I really just wanted to bring some awareness to that, and then also awareness to the fact that, like, if you see a small child walking and you're like, there's no adults around, like, stay with that child, call the police. Like, don't just assume that someone has it handled, because our search could have been ended at least 10 minutes sooner had that first person just grabbed him and stayed with him.
Cheese.
Say cheese.